Now we can speak to Aziz Isa Elkun, a research associate at SOAS in London. He was born in East Turkestan in Uighur and has lived in London since 2001. Several of his family members are detained in what the Chinese state defines as re-education camps. Good morning to you, Aziz.
Good morning.
Can you
Good
tell
morning.
me about, well, first of all, why you came to London in 2001?
It's a long story, but I try to make it short. So I was participated a kind of student organization when I was at high school when I was 16. Then after I graduated Xinjiang University in 1991. Soon after I offered job from the government. Then soon after that, 6 months later, I was labeled. They 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 told me they was found my student activities, which against the Chinese Communist Party,
Hmm.
and there's elements of separatism, Uyghur nationalism, and then they investigated me another 1 year and then fired me from my job. That was 1991. That time they were campaigning about the strike hard and anti-spiritism, anti-separatism before they learn about the anti-terrorism or anti-extremism after 2001 September 11.
So I'm just trying to fill in the gaps. After you were fired from your job, what happened?
Then I was jobless for many years. Whenever there's there's non-stop demands Uyghurs. Every 2 3 years, there's demonstration,
Hmm.
demand the equal rights for the Uyghurs because of the mass Chinese migrants coming from inner China, which state-sponsored. Uyghurs became jobless. Actually, that was about beginning of 1990s, and I just became jobless. Whatever job I can find, I just keep living, but just a life at risk, no peace at all. Police harassment all the time.
Hmm. Would you say that
And I,
that you were restricted when you were there politically, or was it culturally or religiously?
I not even restricted. For example, now I say you just told me I'm so pleased. That's the East Turkestan our country's name. China renamed it after the occupation 1949 as Xinjiang, which is new territory. If any, we were even 1990s. Even I say East Turkestan, I will be live. I will sentenced 10, 15 years to jail. This
Hmm.
is banned word. Now, even now, about we talking about religious repression. Any Uyghurs cannot say Assalamu alaikum. That's banned. If you any Uyghur says in Urumqi and Kashgar, any post hears Assalamu alaikum or on the telephone, they will be immediately taken to the prison.
Right. So just to clarify, you were not allowed to give the Islamic greeting, Assalamu alaikum. That was banned
That time not that time was not banned. That comes up after 2015.
after 2015. Right.
But
Well,
yeah, but when I was banned, we cannot even call the East Turkestan Norway. That was
right.
a banned term. Yeah.
Can you tell me a bit about your family? Because clearly you're living here and they
Right.
are not. Who are you still in touch with? Brothers, sisters, parents, etc. Where are they?
I I cannot uh, contact any of my family members now. None of them. I'm only child of my parents. And my mother came to visit our family, her grandchildren into London. That was in 2011. Soon after she returned, her passport was confiscated. Uyghurs even they can't keep their passport or they can't have passport. And I was keep contacting with her until 2015, normal in a normal way. Every week I can able to call. Since then, she was told me a few times it's not very easy for me to answer your call. Can you reduce the amount of your call? Then I reduced to calling her once per month. And there's my father was ill in 2016, and 2017 December, my father died. 2 weeks after my father died, I keep calling her about 2 weeks time. Since then, line everything off, her landline, her mobile phone.
Gosh.
Until now, it's not working. And what I heard my mother, since then I lost my mother, hundreds of my relatives, friends, everyone, no communication. But when I give interview for CNN 2nd January this year, a week later, CCTV channel, China Global TV Network, other 20 different Chinese media organization sites, they interviewed my mother, and what I told on the interview was using my mother's language was incorrect or false information, no such a thing. And I saw my mother on the Chinese TV in London. That was my first time I heard my mother's voice, and saw her on the TV.
And what did she say in that interview?
That interview is actually, that's even a tragic story. I labeled the Chinese government, Chinese Communist Party as an evil force. Why? For the Uyghur culture, a graveyard, Saman's tomb is a kind of religious site, respected by everyone. As you know, we believe in Islam as well. And we have family graveyard in the village. My visa application was refused by Chinese embassy in London. I tried to visit. My father was ill after my father died. As I'm saying, I'm the only child. I have responsibility for my parents. Then I was very sad. And last year, and I was keep looking from the Google Earth to look at my father's tomb. When I visited in 2015, we built my mother's tomb with my other relatives, and was okay, everything. And then last year in May, and when I looked again, nothing there, flat, no graveyard left, no tombs left.
Gosh,
I just shocked. What I've been seeing is, then I was very depressed, and told to the media what's happening. And then about this graveyard demolition by the Chinese government, and still about my father's tomb. My father only stayed in his tomb, I counted that I was 621 days, and gone, demolished. And I gave this interview to the CNN, and then Chinese government, forced my mother to give interview, and just accused me. I'm lying. I'm wrong. This is not exactly such a thing.
Aziz, I want to ask you finally about
right.
what you want to happen, what you would like to see happening, because clearly, this mistreatment has been going on for some time. Of course, China deny that. Now the UK, along with other countries, are very vocally talking about China's behaviour towards the Uyghurs in terms that we haven't really heard up till now.
Right.
So what would your message be to the UK government, to the Americans, to people who can make a difference about what they can do to help your countrymen and women?
Yes, thank you so much having me for the interview. Yes, it's very, very important cause at the moment. Even though UK government response late already, but I'm very pleased this came to the UK government's attention now. This is pure genocide. There's no adjective before or after that. That's why the U.S. government already recognized it, applied the Magnitsky sanctions to the Chinese officers who was responsible. I really hope UK government do the same action, ally with the allies like the U.S., Five Eyes countries, European Union. The democratic government must stand against Chinese bully, Chinese expansion, Chinese authoritarianism, or we can call just like how do I say it? This is China want to try to change the system of the world, the international law, everything. Must this be united force stop China? Uyghurs are victim. Uyghurs are victim of genocide today. Who will be next? We know about Tibet, already forgot it. We know talking about Hong Kong. We are talking about Thailand. Think about it. No one talks about Mongol even. They're all assimilated. So that was my message. This government must act now. And I want to say last one word. The Li Xiaoming, Chinese ambassador to the UK, he is supporting genocide as his position. He always denies all the facts. He must be kicked out from the country or he must be arrested supporting the genocide. I must tell you.
Okay.
It's against the international law, everything. He must be charged.